At the funeral, Linda arrived with Raymond Chow. Above a portrait of Bruce is a banner in Chinese reading, "A star sinks in a sea of art." All around are draped thousands of tributes. Relatives and close friends bow in respect. Linda and the two children are draped in the traditional white robes of mourning. Members of the funeral party file past the open coffin. Few can hide their grief. Linda and the children take a last look as they too leave. The public controversy about Bruce Lee's death was still raging, but it was only at the Hong Kong airport, about to board a plane that was carrying Bruce's body to Seattle, that Linda finally broke her silence.
It is my wish that the newspapers and the people of Hong Kong will stop speculating on the circumstances surrounding my husband's death. Although we do not have the final autopsy report, I hold no suspicion of anything other than natural death. I myself do not hold any person or people responsible for his death. Fate has ways we cannot change. The only thing of importance is that Bruce is gone and will not return. He lives on in our memories and through his films. Please remember him for his genius, his art, and the magic he brought to every one of us. For we who knew him very well, his words and thoughts will remain with us forever and influence the rest of our lives. In Seattle awaits Linda's family and more bereaved relatives and friends. And a second funeral. Beside the coffin was placed the yin and yang symbol of Jeet Kune Do. Among the many who came to pay their respects were friends and co-workers like Dan Inosanto, Jim Kelly, Robert Klaus, and other actors and producers. Former students James Coburn and Steve McQueen silently recalled their memories of their master.
Bruce's mother said her last goodbyes. And finally, Linda and the children, Brandon and Sharon. Coburn, McQueen, and the other pallbearers throw their white gloves on the flower-decked casket. And at last, it was over.
Clearly be seen. Martial arts schools around the world started their classes with a moment of silence. Theater marquees posted memorials, and moviegoers held candlelight vigils. On July 24th, a public funeral was held in Hong Kong. As many as 20,000 fans swelled the funeral parlor area to catch a glimpse of Lee's coffin and the endless stream of celebrities that poured in to say their farewells. Lee's widow, Linda, and their two children, Brandon and Shannon, attended the ceremony in traditional Chinese mourning garb, and Linda followed the rituals of the ceremony without complaint. Unfortunately, a fantastic and controversial scandal had broken into the newspapers. Originally, Raymond Chow and Linda Lee told the press that Lee had collapsed in his home and later died at the hospital. New reports stated that Lee died at the home of sexpot actress Betty Ting Pei, with whom Lee was reportedly having an affair. What added more fuel to the fire was that the two were alone on the night Lee died. The Chinese press were having a field day. Meanwhile, fans around the world were beginning to ask questions about Lee's abrupt end. Was foul play involved? Was he truly dead? Whatever small amount of information came out of Hong Kong was quickly read, analyzed, and dissected. An official inquest was held to get a clear answer as to what happened to Lee on the night of July 20th. Forensic experts from as far afield as England were called in to show their findings based on tests carried out on Lee's body. Traces of Equagesic, the painkiller Lee had taken that night, were found, along with cannabis. The public revelation that Lee took drugs gave the press even more fuel to add to the raging controversy. Bruce Lee had two life insurance policies that hung in the balance. If it could be proved that Lee died of his drug use, the insurance companies could forfeit the policies, since Lee stated that he did not use drugs. The final verdict was that Lee's death was caused by misadventure, which means a series of unrelated events that can lead to a mishap. Needless to say, many observers, including Lee's doctors, were leery not only of the verdict, but of the whole inquiry itself.